Can I also say I think Pharrell's a vampire? Hey, hi, hello, yo, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to another video. I am Cyan. I am so excited to be here with you all today for yet another video, and today is just a weekly recap of the things that I have consumed in media, books, literature, everything in between this week. So I'm excited to get started. I got my phone here and I'm ready to get to it. So first we're gonna hit out with books. This week, or like these last couple weeks, I've read a couple of books. Score by Elle Kennedy, Real by Kennedy Ryan, and The Afterwife by Nikki Davis. So I'm gonna rank them. Real, Score, a little bit lower. Afterwife. And truly, I loved reading all these books, but I definitely just got some opinions on them after, and now I'm ready to share them. So my first thing is The Score by Elle Kennedy. I think it was a great way to open up the series, the off-campus universe, and then after watching the show, I knew I wanted to read the books because I love reading. So getting to read that book was so much fun. I think the liberties taken from the book to the movie were actually so well done. The care and beauty and pain that is in this book that comes from the sexual violence that happens in this book is really important and should be shared more. And I think that this story is a great way to open that up. And even on TV now, we have a way to kind of celebrate the strength of a survivor. I also just loved everything about the show and how they position that from there. And the characters, I think that I'm definitely going to keep falling in love with all the characters because they're just so fun. I think every single boy having their own book is awesome because I think they all like can definitely get into the different tropes. I know one is like obviously fake dating, one is she falls first, he falls harder, etc. And then one is like unplanned pregnancy. But this book was so good, and I'm excited to see what else they do next in the series and when I read the books and continue to read them. I have one big problem though with the book and the show, but we'll get into that later. But I overall love this book. A great read, 10 out of 10, just so much fun. Next book I read was Real by Kennedy Ryan. That book altered my brain chemistry. I cannot recommend this book enough. It was just awesome from start to finish. A girl who loves musical theater, who goes into becomes a Broadway star, and on her first night being the actual star, not the understudy, this man comes in as a director and sees her, and he's like, this is the girl from my movie. But he also is attracted to her, she's attracted to him. They go to the studio and record, but they don't trust that she's gonna do a good job because she's not like a real established actress yet with a big name. But he like fully is like, y'all have to pick her because she's so good at it. And then also like the integrated part of every chapter being him, her, or the character she's playing in the movie was just such a well done touch. I could say that this character that she plays reminds me of a Josephine Baker type of woman who got her starts and roots off in, New York, I believe, and then moves to Europe and comes back for advocacy and activism purposes. But also there's some really hard-hitting scenes in the movie that are portrayed like through the book, like one where she has to cover her body in tar to look darker. So it dives into some really deep topics. There's like a little bit of a health scare too, and there's some forgiveness between her and her sister because like stuff happened there. This book covered so many things, but so well done, and it really taught me the importance as a 19-year-old that love is so beautiful and so precious, and it's a sacrifice to choose love every single day, and getting to see that through these characters was just so awesome, and I really appreciated it. And the last book I read was The Afterwife by Nikki Davis. I was not a fan of this book for several reasons. I think that the premise of the book was kind of interesting when I read the back. I knew it would be like, something a wild ride, but the way it played out, I just thought the two main characters who were like trying to get together were very immature, and the way they talked to each other and the way they were doing things and the way they were going about different things. There was a mom who was a witch, and she was weird and just promiscuous and crazy. I think the book was just written kind of too quickly. There was so much to unpack in so little time, and you kind of low-key are rooting for the villain because you're kind of annoyed by all the characters in the book. But I just couldn't get into it from start to finish. I was like, what the heck am I reading? And I didn't enjoy it. However, I can appreciate the artistry and someone putting their heart out into a book and putting it out there. But I know that Nikki Davis has also some really great books. Well, this is probably a great book to somebody, but not to me. I know she has some like really popular books that I want to read definitely, but I just picked this book up at Half Price Books because it was on sale. So I'm gonna definitely go into like probably her best work soon because I want a redeeming book for her, but also because I think it takes a second to get into a certain author and how they write sometimes. So I want to definitely revisit her and her work. Just this book was not for me personally. Now we're gonna go into the different category. So we're gonna shift from books to movies and TV. So really first, obviously Love Island. I've been watching that and it comes to an end, unfortunately, literally on Sunday. And I don't know how to feel about that. Family night is tonight for your perspective of what time I'm filming this. And I have fallen in love with these people. Again, I do every year, but this year in season 6 are definitely up there for USA, and UK has always been up there. So that's a whole other thing. But I have loved getting to watch these tropes all the way they are be really important, and I really hope Trinity Bryce get the money, but if not, I'd love for Nia and Carl to get it, and if not, low-key, and it's gonna sound crazy because I don't even like Casey, but Casey and TT, they have a good connection. You can't say they don't. I mean, I don't like Casey, I kind of like TT, but I mean, that was organic. You can't deny their compatibility. Kata and Zach, I just don't like Zach. I love Kata. Don't like Zach. I would vote for Melanie and Sincere, but I hate Sincere. Sinister. So that one girl on TikTok calls her, so I call her that too. But but this season has been so much better. I think there are some things that need to be changed. Like, why was the Hideaway open on like week 2? For Kata and Zach at that.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Hot mess. Why have we only had 5 bombshells? Why has it only been like 1 date? Why are we not eliminating people like this? I feel like last year and the year before and so on and so forth were just so dramatic when it came to eliminating. Maybe they were so focused on love, but I think they weren't. Like, Kenzie should not be in this villa on week 5.5. Sincere Melanie should not be in this. Like, it's just I have a couple of things that I would take up with production, but I'm gonna just leave it and keep it going because it's good TV. But I think Melanie keeps losing her spark episode by episode, and that is something so depressing to see. I need her to get back in the real world and realize that Sincere is not a good person, and she deserves way better and should have way better. I also want to talk about Off Campus a little bit. Obviously, like I said earlier, I watched it. I love the show. Garrett Graham.
I slowly started to be seduced by him. Like, he started to seduce me. And now
You did your big one. Wellesley, you did your big one. But one thing I hated, couldn't stand, it wasn't even the show, it was her outfit during that dang on showcase. Why did they put her in that dress and boots together? That was heinous. That was criminal punishment. Amazon, don't do that again. And to the girl who played Hannah Wells, I don't know your name, but for you to have that good of an accent and you're British, oh girl, you won. You won. Now, I will say low-key, during this show, Allie and Dean stole the show because they were just so like buzzy. Like, I got like a buzz when I'm watching them. I felt something. So even though I love Garrett and Hannah, like I truly do. Truly. Like, they are awesome. And I love their book. They are awesome. So cute. So perfect. I was just so distracted. So I'm so glad they're already filming season 2 because I need that now. I need that yesterday, actually. I need that. I need that. But also, again, like I said, I love all the characters. I think they did a great job casting. Jules, though, I don't know if I needed Jules. They add nothing to the story for me, but just mess. No tea, no shade. But I don't know. I think also during the show, I have been conditioned to expect the worst. So when she was talking to, what was his name? Oh my God. I only know his real name. The guy she liked, Jordan. Was that his name? I think that's his real name. Either way, the guy she liked at first, I thought he was gonna steal her music the whole time because I was just expecting him to like steal that song, Yellow, Yellow Hey, and put it out himself and like get money for it or something. Like I was expecting that, but I just think too toxically. The show was just so good. There was a little bit of miscommunication, but once they got through that in the last episode where I was sobbing, it was all good, and I can really appreciate that. And again, it touched on subjects so well. I thought it was so well done. The beauty of music, the beauty of hockey, togetherness, all that stuff, etc. Do I think it's better than Heated Rivalry? No. But I think there are two very different shows on very different spheres of hockey, and I really enjoyed it. Fun watch. Can't wait for season 2. Next in shows, we have Piece by Piece by Pharrell. Guys, I love me some Pharrell. He is such a good, great performer, great writer, producer, etc. But to see it all in film and Legos, that was the most creative choice. They ate your 10s, Pharrell. Your team 10s, because piece by piece, when I think about music, like, you're making it piece by piece, and so to think that and this genius together, it was just perfect. I do think the end was rushed after Sooner or Later. That's just my opinion. But you have this huge catalog in so many years, it kind of is hard to I guess get into that. Can I also say I think Pharrell's a vampire? Is that fair to say? Because he is not aged. And anyways, but loved it. Love his talent. He's made so many hits. So many. Guys, Sweetener by Ariana Grande is one of my favorite albums. And half of it's because of him. Beyonce by Beyonce, self-titled. He ate that. Like, Pharrell is that guy. Truly. And I'm glad he's finally getting his flowers. Everybody deserves their flowers, but right now I'm happy Pharrell's getting his. And then now we're gonna go into music. That's a perfect segue. The album I've really been bopping to lately has been Infinity Song, self-titled Infinity Song. It is so good. My standout tracks are All My Friends, Sayonara, and Hurricane. I love All My Friends. Like, it's just so real. Like, the rent is due. Like, it's about kind of being in front of everybody else, like this person who has everything, who has the money, the experiences, but in behind, like, I'm a couple seconds from living life under a bridge. Like, I'm so close to the end. Like, that's literally what it says. So to think that that's probably a lot of celebrities and stars in the world, and it's just really interesting and kind of fun. I also been listening to Willow a lot. She put out an album a couple months ago called Pale Black Road, but also she's putting out a new album at the end of this month, and the single is Talk on the Hill, and it's so good. Anyways, it was so good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good, so I enjoyed that. And then also, when it comes to what else have I been listening to when it comes to music? Like, I've been listening to a lot of, like, older stuff. My favorite album right now in rotation is In Rainbows by Radiohead, because why not? Oh, Morning Dew. Anyways, Beyonce, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I don't want to be ungrateful. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but she cut out the best part of that song. Girls, I'm done. All they want to do is but I have both versions on my phone on Apple Music because I had that song illegally for years. So I'm just happy I got it. Thank you so much, Beyonce. That has been rotation too. I really appreciate it. And I mean, this song is probably 12 years old at this point. I don't care. It's awesome. Still good. Still awesome. You can tell she added some parts in. Like, the end is very Renaissance. That's not the run, but it's somewhat to that. So you can tell she definitely has some Virgo's Groove coded verbiage and sounding arrangement for the vocal runs, and it's just so good, so effortless, so everything. Like, it's everything to me. So she did that. And then I mean, let's go on my For You page and Instagram and stuff like that. We're segueing to now social media, is the World Cup. And guys, I have so many opinions. If you didn't know, I played soccer for 10 years, club and rec, indoor and outdoor. And I love that we're hosting this year because it's giving, like, America the opportunity to really view what football is, like what soccer is to the world. We're from the same place. No, the world. But
Place.
The Bronx?
The world.
All right now.
you know, I think USA's team is a reflection of things that need to change in our country. And my biggest opinion is that we would actually be so good at soccer, like every other sport, if we made it more accessible. Like I said, I play soccer. Soccer is expensive to play like on a competitive level. You have to travel. You have to consistently go to different hotels. It costs so much to like be in a club, and people don't realize that. I feel like when it comes to basketball and even baseball and football, you know, a lot of places you can really get good no matter where you are. But there's not a lot of access to soccer if you don't have money. And that's the problem. The reason why the NBA, NFL, etc., they have so many fun games and stuff with the players there is because those players have a few things. Obviously, one, the talent, but also the passion and the drive. Because when you have to make it out the hood, make it out the streets, you have an extra like push of passion. And in soccer, Americans just don't have that. The ones who are really good at it, the men. I'm gonna get there for a second too. And so if you don't have these players who don't have really like anything besides, you know, the talent, it's not fun. That's why in other countries, I mean, Cape Verde, it's important. They had the passion. That goalie was over 40 years old, eating it up, tearing it up because they had the passion. They had the grit. Like Ghana had the grit. Congo in the group stage had the grit. Like, you have to have more than just the talent. And I think that's America's problem. But also, I want to say that that's just the men of America. The women, Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, Lynn Williams, Crystal Dunn, Megan, Alex, Naomi. Oh, that's a different story. See, the U.S. women's national team, they don't play. We gets down. Just won Olympic gold medal, by the way. Have several World Cups. Like, sorry guys, my battery went out. The women, you know, it's different because you're a woman by default. So it's already different for you. Like, you already have to prove so much to be a woman in the U.S. and be in a sport. So they have that passion behind them. But when you're a privileged white man, who grew up rich, who's playing soccer, what besides that do you have to push further to prove yourself to? You have nothing to prove. And that's the problem. My next problem with the World Cup, though, is this country in South America. And that name is Argentina. And they're captained by Lionel Messi. And I don't like Argentina. First of all, as a country, they are horrible. They hate black people. They believe the slave trade was good and just and fair. And then you go and murder all these black people in your country. Anyways, but also besides that, during this World Cup, they have really escaped by the grace of FIFA alone being kicked out, like being knocked out. Because how with Egypt, did Egypt have 11 fouls and pick up 5 yellow cards, and y'all had 13 or 15 and picked up none? How did, I don't know how to say his name, the player from the U.S., I don't want to butcher this up, get a red card for that play, but Messi been doing this the whole time and got no red card? FIFA, riddle me this. How? So at this point, Mbappe, look at me. I need you to execute. Win your World Cup, but also put Argentina to bed. I need them to not win for my blackness, like for everything. I feel like it's just so, when France will win, because they will, I'm gonna feel so much better. But I mean, yeah, I think also my problem with the World Cup is my country again, because with USA, like, what was y'all doing in that last game of Belgium? That was embarrassing. We got belt to, and like, y'all probably, oh, well, this girl, she just sitting on her couch on her high horse, da-da-da. I can have my opinion. And my opinion is, like, make soccer more accessible and USA will start winning. When you give more access to those who don't have much and who maybe don't have the finances or the status to get ahead, which typically in our country is people of color, they will execute. And that has been seen on several occasions in sports and real life. So I'm excited to see how that kind of translates in the next future if I have anything to say about it. I think we should just make sure there are more like soccer fields available in smaller towns and places like that. Anyways, that's kind of like my, I guess, breakdown. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next episode. And like, subscribe, comment, all the things. And bye.